look over here.
Yeah.
Put your thumb up or something that
Okay.
you need raised up a little bit more. Be cool.
We'd ask Brittany to come up to give the prayer. Brittany?
Good afternoon. My name is Brittany Taylor, and I am proud to become an Ancilla College graduate in just a few short moments. Congrats to all of you in here for making it this far. We did it. It took a lot of hard work and dedication to get to where we are today. Along with the support from our family and friends, the past 15 years of our lives have been consumed with going to school, making the grades, and being successful. We started out as little kindergartners, and now we are adults trying to live out our dreams and make our stamp on the world. Growing up, I knew I was expected of me school-wise because my mom is a teacher, and my dad knows how important a good education is. Quick story about the first day of kindergarten. Imagine this. It was a sunny morning in San Antonio, Texas, with multiple elementary schools in the area, and the main news channel in the area decided to go to my elementary school to interview parents and just congratulate all the kids going to school. What my mom didn't know was that her crying over her two babies going to school for the very first time was being aired on major city news, and has never been able to live it down since. All right, now that I've said an embarrassing story about my mom, it's only fair that I do it for my dad. While in high school, I played the violin in the orchestra. Now I know that all of the music we played was not the most exciting, especially after a long day at work. Well, one night, when we had a performance playing our traditional songs, my dad fell asleep and started snoring a little bit during the performance. Again, something he will never be able to live down. Now, while these stories are embarrassing, it proves just how much my parents were supportive, even if they were not wanting to see the little girls grow up, or if they were super tired from a long day at work. My parents, like many of yours, showed up to every special event. It pushed me to become the best person I could be. I am who I am today because of my parents and how they raised me. All of us here today could not get through this crazy thing we call life without the support of friends. The relationships we have formed while being at Ancilla the last 2 or 3 years are bonds that will never be broken or forgotten. We have gone through a ton together and have made memories that will last a lifetime. These friendships, these last couple of years, have gotten you through the stressful midterm and finals week, the occasional emotional breakdown, and the pick-me-up hard times that we all had to go through. The friends that you and I have made here have become a special Ancilla family that will always hold a special place in our hearts. I could not be thankful enough to God for giving me an Ancilla family and an education that will last a lifetime. Now, if we could all bow our heads and give praise to the man that brought us all here today. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here today and supporting us throughout the couple of years at Ancilla College. Because of you, we are sitting in this beautiful chapel and getting ready to complete a chapter of our lives that will set us on a path that will allow us to grow and prosper through a life that you have set up for us. We can't thank you enough for the people that you have put in our lives and the adventures that came with them. This college and the faculty and staff you have provided us with have been a blessing, and I think that all of the students here can see you in all of them. You are the light of the world, and you have definitely lit a path for each and every one of us here today. Thank you for everything. Amen.
Thank you, Brittany. Everybody can be seated. My role today is to welcome, to congratulate, to recognize, to challenge, and finally to confer your hard-earned degrees for those that are in the front. It is indeed an honor for me to welcome all of you, our Lieutenant Governor, graduates, trustees, faculty, staff, alumni, friends, and especially you parents, relatives, and significant others to Ancilla's 2018 commencement. I especially want to thank you graduates for all the joys and challenges you have given all of us here at Ancilla. Congratulations to each of you on this most memorable day. Some of you never dreamed that you would be here on this day. This has to be one of the most significant and exciting days of your life thus far. In just a few minutes, you will be receiving degrees that symbolize years of diligent work and study, degrees that you have dreamed of and worked so hard to attain, degrees that you have definitely earned. The diploma that you are about to receive signifies to the world that you have met or surpassed all of the appropriate collegiate standards and expectations. I would also like to take a moment to commend and congratulate our faculty, staff, and trustees whose dedication to excellence and commitment to Ancilla College are also represented in your achievements. I would ask the faculty, staff, trustees to please stand and be recognized. Let's show our appreciation for this group of dedicated people. Finally, I want to compliment and congratulate those critical and most important behind-the-scenes people, especially you parents, children, spouses, significant others, and friends of today's graduates. You provided that needed added incentive at those very critical times. You have played a tremendous role in the success of each of these graduates. I would ask that the graduates please stand, turn, and show your appreciation and thanks for those that have been behind you. Thank you so very, very much. And now I think I would ask Gabriel Van Loo to come forward to give her remarks. Class President. Gabriel?
I want each of you to think about a moment where you almost gave up. A moment where you're ready to throw in the towel and walk away. Now, think about these questions. Why didn't you? Would it not have been easier to say, forget this, and leave everything you've worked so hard for? What made you keep going? What was it that pushed you to do better? Was it a person? Was it the promise of fulfilling a dream? If that one thing had enough influence on you to finish what you started, imagine what can be done starting the moment you hold this diploma. Everyone close your eyes. Go ahead, close them. Paint a picture in your mind of what this degree means to you. What do you see? Who are the people supporting you? Open your eyes. Never lose sight of that picture. You have made it this far. Why not keep going? If you ever reach a spot where you want to give up, do what you have done all those times prior. Take a step back and think about what is important to you. Once you remember what it is that keeps you going, think about whether that obstacle is beneficial to your ultimate goal, and then make your choice. Do not give up just because someone says to. Don't do it just because everyone else is. Think about your experience at Ancilla. Think about the good days as well as the bad days you have had, because both of those are the reasons you're sitting in this chapel just minutes away from your diploma. Minutes away from being able to look at those memories and rejoice in what they have led you to. All of the homework and projects painstakingly completed, all of the athletic events where you're both a supporter and the supported, all of the hours spent bundled up in your room with your textbook for some last-minute studying, and yes, for some of you, even the constant nagging by the resident life staff to make sure you follow the rules and get involved on campus. This is what it has all led up to. Look around you. You are surrounded by your friends, family, instructors, and administrators. Every single one of them has waited for this moment, the moment where they get to look at you and tell you how proud they are of you, the moment you realize that you never gave up. You never gave up so you could finally hear the words, "Congratulations, class of 2018. We did it."
Gabrielle, thank you so much for those inspiring words. It's now, I'm very pleased and honored to introduce our Lieutenant Governor, Susanne Crouch. Susanne has been here different times because of various programs, and I feel that she's sort of a member of the Ancilla family in some ways. If you want to read more about her, wait till after her remarks, and then you can look in the handout you have, and it gives some biographical information on Susanne. You can read that at your leisure, but not when she's talking. Susanne has been very active in Indiana politics since 2005. She's always been an advocate for those with disabilities, any type of disability. She has always been involved with them. She visited Ancilla last fall when we started the first program for college students with autism, students on the spectrum. She's also been a strong supporter for agriculture in Indiana, which also plays a key role here at Ancilla. Susanne has been and continues to be a passionate leader for those with disabilities and for ag. Susanne is a true servant leader. I am more than pleased to present our Lieutenant Governor, Susanne Crouch. Susanne.
Well, good morning. Good morning. I could not be more honored to be here with you today, and to President Zirkle and to you all, the Ancilla College class of 2018. Congratulations. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of this conclusion of this chapter of your life and the commencement of a new chapter. So to all of you graduating today, congratulations. You should be very proud of yourselves. If you had told me when I was a young girl growing up in Evansville, Indiana, that I'd be here today, one day speaking to you, I would have laughed. In fact, if you'd have told me that I'd one day be the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Indiana, I wouldn't have believed you. It's why we all must be prepared to step into the unknown. By taking that first step, we often find life purpose and splendor. So for those of you feeling anxious today, don't. Embrace every new chapter of your life with enthusiasm, especially those that haven't been scripted yet. My daughter graduated as a part of the class of 2015. And during a conversation prior to her graduating, she expressed to me her concern because she didn't have a clear plan or a clear path on what she wanted to do in life. And I will share with you the same thing I told her. Be true to yourself and follow your passions and your promise. These are the things worthy of our hours and days. And after all, those hours and days are our most precious commodity. The important thing is to live your life and to live it your way. Before and beyond having the courage to step into the unknown, I would encourage you to be tough. These days we see too much entitlement and not enough grit. And I learned that important lesson as a young girl. When I was 12 years old, I'd experienced a growth spurt and was actually just 3 inches shorter than I am today. And so, needless to say, I was taller than all the kids in the class and most of the teachers. And as kids do at that age, they made fun of me and called me the Jolly Green Giant, and how's the weather up there? And while it was funny to them, and it might seem trivial, to a young girl who was struggling to fit in, it was a very painful time in my life. And I remember talking to my father, and what he said helped shape who I am today. He said, Susanne, when kids are making fun of you, it's because they themselves are insecure. And so the next time they call you the Jolly Green Giant, just smile or give the trademark Giants ho, 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 which I did, and the teasing stopped. But that lesson lasted me a lifetime. So please, always be a voice for compassion and empathy. And if you get knocked down, have the toughness to pick yourself back up, because life is too short to sit around and cry. My father's words also taught me to accept and love myself, and taught me to respect myself. And when I could accept and love and respect myself in spite of all my imperfections, then I could accept the differences in other people, and I could appreciate that it is those differences that we all have that adds to the beauty of our world. This perspective shaped me in my formative years and has remained with me throughout my life. It's why I am so passionate about advocating for people with disabilities. Abraham Lincoln said it perfectly. He said, "The best way to predict your future is to create it." The best way to predict your future is to create it. And you are doing that here at Ancilla College for people with disabilities. I'm fortunate that this is my second visit to your beautiful campus, and I have witnessed the courage and the empathy demonstrated through your autism program at Ancilla College. It is a prime example of supporting Hoosiers with disabilities and teaching them valuable skills that will allow them to enter the workforce. As chair of Indiana's Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Task Force, I am so proud of and applaud the work you are doing here at Ancilla College. Because you see, our friends with disabilities are merely our friends with different ability. They have the same dreams as every single one of us. They want to have friends and have a job. They want to be loved and love and to be successful in life. And if you want to change the world, start changing the world around you. And that is what you are doing here at Ancilla College. When I graduated from college, I set off to make my mark. And I entered into the private sector and worked as a stockbroker, a realtor, small business owner, worked for a public television station. And while I truly enjoyed those experiences, I wasn't passionate about them. You see, I wanted to make a difference in people's lives, and I didn't feel I was doing that. I believe in the simple idea that we should try to leave things better than where we found them, and that is in our community, and that is in our state. And after different career paths and feeling like something was missing, I entered into political life and ran for political office. After all, I was a political science major at Purdue University. And in doing so, I fell in love with the political process. And I learned how it connected me to other people and how it enabled me to change people's lives. I would love to tell you that the first time I ran for office, I won, and I'm here today as the lieutenant governor. But life doesn't always go the way we plan. And I ran and I lost. And while it was personally devastating, I discovered that you learn more from your losses than you do your wins. When I ran for office that first time, I wasn't afraid of failure because I knew I was going to win. I had so much confidence in the direction I wanted my life to go that I never thought that losing was a possibility. You see, at that time, I believed that I could control my destiny. And as a result, I struggled greatly when things didn't go the way I planned. I realized that I am not the end-all and be-all in the universe when I took a whitewater rafting trip down the Grand Canyon. And for those of you like me who are type A personalities, spend some time on the rapids and you'll find out how much control you have in life. On that trip, while experiencing the beauty and the majesty of the Grand Canyon and sleeping under the constellations, watching stars shoot across the sky, it suddenly dawned on me that I am not the center of the universe. In fact, I'm just a very, very small part of it. And my abiding faith in my Catholic education was reawakened. Man couldn't possibly be responsible for what I was experiencing. And that realization was extremely liberating for me. You see, I suddenly understood that I do not have to be in control of my life. I am simply called to live my life with meaning and purpose, and by doing so, I can serve others. Now, I'd like to tell you about all the famous people who tried to do something and failed spectacularly, but I'm not going to do that. Anyone who is passionate about what they are doing, even if they fail at their first attempt, is important. And that could be your parents, your professors, and even perhaps me. Eventually, I ran for office again and won and served at the local level and the state level, and now I'm lieutenant governor. So I am a big believer that things happen for a reason. And sometimes you have to take a leap of faith and accept opportunities when they are presented to you, even if they take you down a different path. So in conclusion, that brings me back to the conversation I had with my daughter and how it ended. And I shared with her that it's okay that if you don't know exactly what you're going to do with your life, it's okay to stumble, as long as you pick yourself up and you always are looking forward, never back. I told her that I'm excited about the countless opportunities that she has to make a difference in the world. And so I tell you it's okay if you stumble, but always pick yourself up and always look forward. Don't ever look back. So I would like to simply share once again, embrace the unknown. Be tough. Let go and let God. And know that you are part of a grander design. Like me, it might take you time to find your place in life, but that's okay as long as you're always moving forward. So I am so excited about the countless opportunities you have to make a difference in the world around you. I'm so honored to be here to share in your accomplishments, and I can't wait to see what you do in life. So congratulations to you today, and God bless you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Graduates, that was incredible, priceless advice. that I hope you follow. Students, I want to say that this has been an exciting year, and what a culmination right here, right now. I mean, to have the Lieutenant Governor here to speak to you in this historic moment, for you graduating, to encourage you as you move forward in life. What an incredible and historic year. We've implemented new and exciting programs and initiatives at the college. The Poor Handmaids of Jesus Christ, who sponsor the college, celebrated their 150th anniversary. That's incredible. Very soon, their foundress, Catherine Casper, will be canonized, made a saint. That's pretty darn exciting. The women, the poor handmaids who have followed in her footsteps, built this institution. This would not be possible. None of this would be happening today without them. And for that, I would like to take a brief moment and to ask any poor handmaids who are here and able to stand to please do so. And I'd ask if you would join me in applauding them for their hard work and for their legacy, which we benefit from today. Class of 2018, know that as an Ancilla graduate, you carry part of their namesake. Follow their example as you move forward in life. Seek progress, seek God's Spirit for guidance, serve others, and reap unimagined benefits. Upon hearing the Lieutenant Governor's speech, you probably heard that oftentimes what we think is progress and success may not be what we originally envisioned. And I doubt that Catherine Casper, living in abject poverty in Germany, could have foreseen into the future, here in the 21st century, in the new world, the sight of us here gathered in this magnificent chapel, celebrating this historic class of college graduates. This is a historic graduating class, the largest in Ancilla's history. Students, you've made history, you're graduating. Continue moving forward as makers of history. At this time, I would ask that the candidates would please rise. Mr. President, it is my honor to present the candidates for the degrees of Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, and Associate of Science in Nursing. These students have completed or will have completed by August 2018 the prescribed courses of study. They will have passed the required examinations and are presented to you for the conferring of the Associate of Arts, the Associate of Science, and the Associate of Science in Nursing degrees.
In accordance with the charter of the college, granted by the state of Indiana, and by the authority vested in me by the faculty of Ancilla College and the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, or Associate of Science in Nursing, as may be appropriate to each of you, and declare that you are entitled to all the rights, privileges, and amenities pertaining thereunto. At this point, you may turn your tassels.
Will the candidates please proceed to the stage to receive diplomas? Will the first row please rise and move into the wings? When we return to your pew, please be seated. Audience, I ask that you please hold your applause until all candidates are recognized so everyone has equal opportunity to share in this momentous occasion. I will now call forward names of candidates for the Associate of Arts degrees. James Vincent Amodei. Ha Kao. Chi Win. Quinn Win. Quinton. That was not right. I will now call names of the candidates for the Associate of Applied Science. Nicole McGriff. Francisco Ocampo. Now I will call names of Associate of Science candidates. Jaquan Akins. Albin. Jacob Nicholas Albin. Colton Baker. Blaine Clifford Bender. Cammie Janelle Brown. Nigel Brown Watson. Leah Carter. Krissa A. Caverly. Sydney Susanne Chesco. Brandon Dagley. Antoinette Lee Dashner. Katie Marie Dowd. Miguel Enamorado. Amanda Enyart. Aaliyah Enyart. Kenneth Easlick. Adrian Nicole. Zachary Felty. Samuel Fierro. Dylan James Philwalk. Michaela Rose Flora. Crystal George. DK Fox. Cammie Gilreath. Magdalene McKay Gingrich. Sierra Hope Hale. Casey Head. Cameron John Healy. Amanda Heckerman. Mary Ann Hendricks. Michael Kenneth Hurt. Yes. Jesse Holt. Tiana Jackson. Evan Jones. Treshawn Quantez Jones. Tristan Cager. Dustin Kirkove. Brenda Krieger. Tristan Kruger. Megan LaFontaine. Charles Lanham. Deshaun Lamar Martin. Angelique McKenney. Quanika Merriweather. Jordan Cahill Mount. Darian Mowry. Zena Newland. Samantha Nickerson. Colleen, 9. Kayla Marie Payne. Zachary Pendleton. Hunter Price. Dean Putz. Kyle Brandon Reppert. Joseph Richardson. Lizette Del Carmen Salas Hernandez. Destiny Marie Schoaf. D'Angelo Javante Scott. Corgan Shepard. Kaylee Jo Stiles. Clinton Still. Tyler Stringfellow. Emily Jane Stroud. Luke M. Stoll. Brittany Taylor. Brandon Lee Terry. Gabrielle Van Loo. Carson Williams. Richard Wise. Now calling names of the Associate of Science in Nursing. Angela Biddings. Shawnice Black. Let's show your hat. Lindsay Marie Brewer. Joshua Brown. Ashara Jonay Brown. Katie Marie Carlson. Stephanie Nicole Christ. Jennifer Ashley Cruz. Taylor Davis. Stephanie Eckert. Travis M. Edmonds. Wait, how to say the last name? How do you say the last? Tashawn Ogandale. Monica Lynn Flores. Jerry W. Fredette. Tanya Gibson. Venus T. Grice. Amanda Haynes. Brittany Harper Martins. Jacqueline Herrera. Emily Faye Hopple. Hannah Marie Huff. Amaret Jackson. Melinda Herford. Holly Kell Dennis. Angela Ann Marquette. Jessica Catherine Norris. Karen O'Connor. Yeah, that's it. Austin R. Ruth. Cheyenne Schaefer. Taisha Cachet Taylor. So now that I know all of you have been holding and suppressing that applause and wanting to hoop and holler, hold on just a little bit longer. Dr. Zirkle will say something, but you will get your time, I promise.
Let's give these students one more round of applause, please. Certainly an exciting time for all concerned. We're near the end of the ceremony. I have a few words just sort of in wrapping things up. Again, I want to say thank you to the parents, friends, and the special people that are here today in support of all of our graduates. That's so meaningful to them, so meaningful to all of us. Graduates, you're entering a world that more than ever needs educated people like yourselves to provide the global postures and dreams for our nation and for the entire world. All you have to do is watch the evening news or watch any type of news or read any type of news, and you understand the need for people that are clear thinking, that are educated, and are committed to developing a better world. Hopefully you're going to fall into that category. The world needs dedicated, visionary types of people such as yourselves. I encourage each of you to combine your God-given talents with what you have learned. Go forward with unbridled enthusiasm, unwavering confidence, and a firm belief that you will and must have a significant positive impact on the world around you. Dream. Set goals, seek and accept responsibility, and always have a vision of a better world. And remember, you can and must make that difference. I would feel guilty if I didn't share with you at least two pieces of advice. First, being faced with difficult challenges is really a part of life. Belief in a supreme being will make a difference in how you face those challenges. So I advise you, take your religious beliefs seriously. This should be an integral part of your very being, and it should be constant, not just once in a while. Secondly, enjoy your work, whatever it happens to be. Develop a genuine fondness for what you do. Look for the positive. A genuine positive attitude will make a difference in your life. If you do that, if you get up every morning assuming you're going to see something positive and remind yourself of that, it will have an impact. Again, I congratulate each of you on this, your moment of special recognition. Know that we are so very, very proud of each of you and have enjoyed your time here with you at Ancilla. I sincerely hope that each of you will always have a time in your life and a spot in your heart for your alma mater, your Ancilla College. And we congratulate you and thank you for being a part of this institution. At this time, I would have Amanda come forth for the benediction. Not yet, excuse me. Oh, for God's sake. Gee whiz. I'm in trouble now because I'm going to be on his radio program Tuesday morning. For Alumni Remarks, I bring forth Tony Ross.
Listen, I know you want to retire, Dr. Zirkle, but geez, no. Good afternoon. Welcome to commencement. I'm Tony Ross, Max 98.3 here in Plymouth. I am a third-generation Ancilla alumni. Now, what does that mean? That means I used to sit back in 1991 in that very same seat that you guys did. So this college holds a very special place in my heart and my family's heart. My mom, God rest her soul, by the way, named Diana Ross, not the singer. I'd have some explaining to do then, but no, she's not the singer. And then, of course, my brother Christopher. My mom was a big fan of Ancilla College, and she encouraged me to come here when it was time, once I left high school. I thought I knew what I wanted to do. I thought I had the world by the horns, and I was ready to take it on full bore. Little did I know, I couldn't have been more immature than an infant sometimes. But there were several reasons why I chose to come to Ancilla. And I'm going to be honest here, because you know what? We're all family. One of them was financially. I don't hide this, and I never will hide this. My dad owned a meat shop out in the middle of the country, where the nearest town was 7 miles, both north, south, east, and west. My mom, she worked 2 jobs. And they both made it very clear I needed to go to college. Every dollar that we earned was through hard work. And when it came down to figuring out where I wanted to go to college, Ancilla was the right fit. Little did I know it was going to be in more ways than just one. So there was the financial aspect of it. So once I come to campus, which by the way, it looks so different back in 1991 than what it does today, it still provided a comfort that no other area college was going to provide. It had a personal touch. A personal touch to my life's education that never made me second guess my decision to come here. And then there were the teachers. As I look back, I had several influential teachers, but there are 3 that I want to talk about. One of them, the late Sister Mary Dolores. What a saint. You couldn't walk by that beautiful lady without her spraying you with some kind of sunshine, some kind of hope, than what she did on a daily basis. She had, most importantly, a servant's heart. So when you had a problem, she wanted to know. It wasn't because she wanted to be nosy. She wanted to know how she could help. I am proud to have been selected the award from the Sister Mary Dolores Award back in 2013. I'm not sure I'm befitted of that, but I will tell you it is an honor that I can carry for the rest of my life and be proud about. Another teacher, Frank Zink, in communications. I was just starting in the radio at that time, and you know, you learn so much in the business to begin with, but you also need some guidance. And a professor from a 2-year college named Frank Zink of Ancilla College gave me that guidance. You know, I thought I could be Johnny Cool and just go about and be a radio guy and all the fame in the world was going to come at my feet. No. Frank made sure I understand that through some amazing conversations. His ability to open up to me gave me such an inspiration and hope that I can just be who I want to be and be successful at my job. So there's Frank Zink. And then there's my psychology teacher. Now, kids, we've all had one of those teachers, right? Yeah. Well, for me, it was Mr. McGinnis. We had a unique relationship. We did. We kind of picked on one another. And Mr. McGinnis, back in the day, and Jill, correct me if I'm wrong here, he was about early 60s at the time when he was teaching psychology here at Ancilla College. This guy knew everything. I'm telling you, there wasn't much that got by Mr. McGinnis. And I mean that. And at this time, just to kind of show you where we were in 1991 with facilities, we only had one tennis court, and there was, well, two tennis courts. And if you wanted to play tennis, you could play tennis. Well, Mr. McGinnis found out that I liked to play tennis. And so we would take from a period of 11 to 1 and play tennis, because he would go back and teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so we were very competitive. And I think out of my entire year of playing that 60-year-old gentleman who was a tremendous athlete who wore a headband as we played, I only beat him one time. Yes, once. There was a reason why. It's because he was so good, and he kept talking to me during the matches all the time, playing head games with me. I mean, that's what psychologists do. Well, needless to say, there was the one day, and it was a Thursday, and I can remember this like it was yesterday. I beat Mr. McGinnis. He didn't like it because he was a competitor, and he knew I was a competitor. But boy, we had great respect for one another. So when we were done with our matchup, I didn't boast. I didn't go out of my way to, show up Mr. McGinnis at all. I sat in his class, and right away, so Mr. Ross, he threw this question at me, and knowing that sometimes he chose me as a target just because that's who Tony was, he asked me this question, and so I answered it. And as the good Lord is my witness, I remember exactly what he said to me. He said, "I would expect an answer like that from you, Mr. Ross, an answer that makes no common sense." What? What did I say? Well, I didn't say nothing there. The class is laughing. They think it's funny. And I'm thinking, okay, all right, maybe it is funny. But then Tony, not letting things go like Tony does, he said, "You know what, Mr. McGinnis, I think you're right. I have no common sense because I'm sitting in your class on this bright, sunshiny day." Yeah, exactly. Whoever said, "Oh, that's exactly kind of," at least that's what the class, well, half the class laughed. The other class said, "Wow." But you know what was great about it? Mr. McGinnis smiled too, because he knew it was just a friendly banner, the same kind of banner we had on the tennis court. He was making an investment in me, and he was pushing me. He was challenging me. All three of these examples here that I gave you are examples of professors that did that here at Ancilla College. So what can you take from this stroll down memory lane from an old Ancilla alumni? Simply this: the amount of care that these wonderful people, when I say people, I mean staff, here at Ancilla College, has for you as a student will be second to none, no matter where you go. I promise you that. I went to Purdue. Nothing against Purdue. I love Purdue. But I didn't get what I got here at Ancilla College to further my education. Honesty. As a matter of fact, I remember I received phone calls, and there were days where if I missed 2 classes, my professor called me to see if everything was okay. I was even offered a ride to college if my car broke down. You're not going to get that anywhere else. But that was the commitment level back then, and still is today. The gift of time experienced at this smaller school. You'll not get a more personal touch in any four-year school, no matter where you go. And I hate to sound redundant on that, but kids, If you move on to bigger universities, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Life is hectic, and you're going to be pulled 50,000 directions. And you're going to learn, you're going to step back, and you're going to see, you know what? Ancilla helped me get focused. I promise you that will happen. And then you're going to sit back and you're going to say, thank you. It's coming. And you're going to get challenged. Then there's the wonderful fellowship experienced among the staff and the students, the sisters. 80% of my professors were sisters. And no, they didn't slap you on the hand with rulers. What they did was love you as kids, not as students. They cared about you. They want you to succeed. My experience was I found out I had more in common with my fellow students here at Ancilla than when I went to the bigger school, bigger university. Matter of fact, I keep in touch with 20 of them from back in 1991. I only got 2 that remain from Purdue. And I talk to them on almost a weekly basis. So you'll appreciate the fellowship that you made here at Ancilla. And then, well, some of you graduates probably need a little time once you got here to get adjusted to Ancilla because it's not quite as fast-paced. When you get older, I promise you, again, you will appreciate your times here where, you know what, you did have time to think for yourself. You had time to relax, yet meet every goal, meet every challenge, meet every deadline. You have an opportunity to experience that because you will cherish this when you get older. Then there's the memorable moments that this college provided. And I can dare say that each one of us who are graduating today can provide a memorable moment. So let me share mine real quick. Actually, my connection with Ancilla dates back at the age of 7, truth be told. My dad and I decided to go fishing. It was the first time I ever went fishing. So I was all excited. I had my little fishing rod. Dad has his. We're ready to go. So I had that old-time bobber that was circular, red and white in color, had 2 thingies at the end. I don't even know what they call them. But it was a red and white bobber, circle bobber. So I cast it out on Lake Galbraith, just out here. And I'm waiting for my first fish. Dad and I talking. I don't remember what the conversation was about, but next thing you know, I seen that bobber go completely underwater. Now, Dad said, listen, when you let the fish take it, and then pull back and reel at the same time, simultaneously. Well, you know, I'm like a kid in a candy shop. I see my fish hit the bobber, man. I'm yanking and then reeling. Well, as I kept going, I'm reeling it in. I'm thinking, man, I got myself a fish, but boy, it sure is easy reeling it in. So I reel and reel and reel, and the bobber all of a sudden gets to midair, and the line is straight, and I'm thinking, well, this looks like he's got a fish, right, Dad? He says, well, let's keep it on. So next thing you know, it's getting closer and closer and closer, and then all of a sudden, I see something on the hook, and my, God bless my dad, he grabbed the hook, and he looked at it, and he said, Tony, you didn't quite catch the fish, but you caught his eyeball. Whoa! I'm done. I'm not fishing anymore, and I haven't touched a fishing rod ever since. So although that's a little bit of a traumatic experience at Lake Galbraith, I will tell you my connection, though, is still memorable, which is my point here today. Take away what you got here. That piece of paper that you got today, kids, anymore, talking with businessmen on a daily basis that I do, it's today's new high school diploma. That's how important your associate's degree is. And you're off to a great start. So I hope when you get a chance, you'll step back and see what this school one day can do for your child as it did for you, as it did for all of us. Be strong. Be proud, be steadfast, be bold, but most importantly, make a difference in someone in your life through your works, And did you catch that? Through your works. There is no greater testimony of an individual than having a servant's heart to help others be better. And I think we can honestly all say that we've experienced that here at Ancilla College. And mostly, never, ever let anyone tell you you can't do something. For you now are an Ancilla alumni. And here at Ancilla College, we believe in you. Thank you. Congratulations, kids. Best of luck in your future.
Now, Amanda Enyon.
My dear classmates, the day that we have all worked so hard for is finally here. And as we close this chapter in our lives, it is my hope that we will continue to follow the plan that God has for us. Though we will face hard times and struggles, let them not break us, but instead make us stronger. Let us be thankful and humble when we experience a success, remembering the one up above who makes all things possible. And let us go into the world as the very best version of ourselves, as God created us, not what society may tell us we should be. And above all else, I hope that we will continue to have faith that we can achieve the dreams that we have, as long as we never give up hope. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, as we close this chapter in our lives, my prayer is that each of us will continue to grow and prosper for your good. Father, you have given us each talents that were designed specifically for us, and I pray that we will use them as we continue on our journey. Some of us will continue with our education, go straight into the workforce, and some may be undecided. Whichever direction we go, I pray that we will always remain centered in you and seek your guidance when life-changing decisions are to be made. Father, thank you for the faculty and staff that you have placed in our lives here at Ancilla College. Without their care and compassion, we would not be where we are today. Many times, they believed in us, even when we did not believe in ourselves. Thank you for our families, and please continue to bless them as they make the sacrifices that they do so that we are able to follow our dreams. I pray that each and every graduate here today will be filled with gratitude, humility, love, and faith. That in times of doubt, we look to you for guidance. Let us leave here today with confidence and pride in ourselves as we begin to do our part in making a difference in the world. It is in your name that we pray. Amen.